I noticed a new friend on your desk, and I'd love to learn more. So you said you got, so it's a crystal skull, right? Tell us about what it is, what it does, what do you use it for? I'm so curious. I've never seen a crystal skull before, nor have I heard of them.
Yeah.
So educate me.
Okay. This will be exciting. So I was first introduced to crystal skulls about at like a psychic fair probably 18 years ago.
Mm,
And you'll go into a metaphysical store and you'll see like the little skulls and they're all different stones and stuff like that. Well, there's a history and a story behind them. When I was at the psychic fair, what I saw was channelers channeling with them. So it would be an event and they would channel. So crystal skulls are used as a divination tool. They're good at reflectors. So they reflect our inner being. And it's just like all other divination tools, it's a good way to access that spiritual aspect of ourself and to get information. But the benefit of the crystal skulls is that there's different stones and different properties involved. And usually because of like the large amount of it, when we connect to that property, we connect to that vibration
hmm
of like that the earth properties.
hmm
And so what that does is it brings forth that activation and that memory within our biological cells. And so it helps us to channel very specific things, very deep things. So you'll see so I'll go into a little bit of the history.
Yeah.
The, they're kind of an ancient divination tool. Heard, I guess they first started coming out I would say over 2000 years ago. They were known more in the Mesoamerican era
hmm
with like the Mayan and Aztec as they started to pop out from artifacts and things like that. Some of them have been placed in museums. I think the Crystal Skull or a couple are in the Smithsonian.
Okay.
And some have popped out around Tibet. And
Ooh.
there's a story about the original 13 has been like scattered throughout the earth. And one day they will all be reunited and they will give information. It's a prophecy. It's an old American Indian prophecy that they're going to channel information that's needed for humanity to, during an age of transformation, it will help humanity survive
Mm.
the next phase of existence. So after an apocalyptic time or something like that. And the way I see it now, and they can be connected to ancestors, Earth's history, or extraterrestrial. So they hold a lot of different frequencies that people channel and connect to.
Does it
So
depend on the material, the crystal of it?
it honestly depends on where you're ready to be activated, because again, they're just a magnifying for the inner awareness of the person that's channeling.
I see.
So again, whatever level you're ready for and whatever your intentions are. So if your intention is to connect to extraterrestrial or more galactic information, then that's what you're going to connect with. So I feel like that fulfills the prophecy of the information that will help humanity would be more extraterrestrial. It will come at a time where humans are ready to access that within themselves, and then therefore, channel that information or receive that information from the skulls. So it's not to give the power away to the skull, but to, again, to use it as a
Mm.
reflection. So this particular skull,
Mhm.
I've named her at Ishtar.
Oh, love Ishtar.
So it's Ishtar. And Ishtar is a variation of the goddess Inanna from one of the Anunnaki historical stories. So very ancient goddess that came, in the beginning of creation, beginning of time. So that's because that's the connection I want to deepen within myself, is that origin of humanity's
hmm
history. So again, that's where I want to take it. And the funny thing about this is a
Agate.
volcanic
Okay.
agate stone. And when I did the research on it, the research brings it back to most of this volcanic agate is found in, it was like the third region of where the goddess Inanna was actually, where she was placed kind of as a leader over or a
Mhm.
reign at that time. So it's the, I believe, Northern Asian and Mesopotamian and just kind of like that
Mhm.
region and area of the earth. So that's where this is genuinely found. So I find that the connection is really cool that it connects to that. Yes.
And how do you use it? So, do you use it as you would any other crystal? Do you see things when you're looking at it? Like, I'm thinking, crystal balls. Some people are staring into the crystal ball and then receiving information. How do you personally use it?
Right now, I'm building just a foundation of energetic connection. So I'm having it near me as much as possible. Just because I've heard in the past, I don't know, this is my go-to. It takes 3 days to kind of merge with an item, whether it be a clothing or amulet or jewelry. It takes kind of 3 days to like integrate energies. So what I'm doing to just help integrate the energies is I'm having it next to my bedstand at night. So when I'm in the dream state or I'm sleeping, because I do get a lot of information and prophecy through my dream realities, and dreams have been really interesting. So
Really?
I I want to say that it's been that tuning into that vibration. But this property in this stone is also good for like healing, inner awareness. The natural properties of the stone is gonna connect and come out and do its work,
Mm-hmm.
and it's gonna have to balance me first. So wherever I have imbalances, or some stones like obsidian is for protection of negative energy, or it clears out negative, it's gonna take that time to clear before you can be a clear conduit. So right now, yeah, I'm just kind of connecting to the energies. Most of the people that I've seen when they channel them it's a hands-on item.
Okay.
So they'll place their hands on, and you kind of use it like as a stone that you'd put in your pocket.
Mm-hmm.
You just have that in your energy field. You can connect to it by thinking about the stone. Like right now with my hands on there, I can already start to feel sensations. So I would connect to those sensations. I'm getting sensations around my neck and my spine and my solar plexus. So it's just kind of waves of energy right now. So I know that that's where it's connecting or clearing. I haven't gone to the extent of asking questions while I'm holding it, but I would assume that my natural way of divination would be amplified. So however you do your own. Some people do sound healing and they would sing or use their voice or
Mm.
music. If they were big on scrying, they might have their hand on and they could write things
Right.
down. So my biggest divination tool is clairvoyance or just clear cognizance. I'll
Mm-hmm.
just get downloads. So I feel like that would be how I would receive information if I were to ask a question. Do you want to ask a question and see if something
Yeah,
comes
I
up?
was gonna say, do you want to do it or do you want to just see what comes through?
We can practice.
Just
So
for fun.
this will be my permission slip is,
Perfect.
well, now I have permission to do it. Okay, then I'll do it just like I would do a normal tarot card.
Mm-hmm.
If I didn't know what I wanted to ask, I would say, okay, well, what information is important for me to know at this time, or what is in the highest good to come through and the highest good for all? So that
Mm-hmm.
would always be my compass.
Let's do it.
Okay, so then as I already posed the question, then I'll just kind of see what comes through, see if any clairvoyant images start to arise. I just keep seeing a rose.
Mm.
It's a red rose. It looks really healthy. It's blooming and blossoming. And now now I see it's taking me to the poppy seeds in the movie The Wizard of Oz.
Oh,
So I feel like that's very symbolic of The Wizard of Oz is kind of the journey. It goes through the journey of one's kind of awakening. You know, she wasn't happy where she was in Kansas at the farm. She was like, I want to go on the other side of the rainbow. I want to see the world. I want to experience. This also could very much go with what we talked about in the last episode of the adolescence and the teenager phase, and kind of like the tarot card with the Fool, wanting to go
mhm,
out and explore. So I'm getting that information. What does she learn on her journey? You know, she meets the Tin Man. First the Scarecrow, who doesn't have a brain. That represents people in society who we just kind of follow suit with the mindless, right? With the sheep.
right.
We have to learn to step outside of the norm and to listen to our own mind. Then she goes through the journey and she meets the Tin Man. And he believes he's just a vessel. He doesn't have a heart. So
Hmm.
it's emotional detachment. And we go through life sometimes kind of disconnecting with that part of ourselves, not listening to our inner guidance, not following our passion or our heart. You know, we do what we're told. And then moving along in life, we was it the lion that was next?
I think so. I think so. The lion, the scared lion, was it?
Yeah, and he was so scared. He didn't have courage, and he needed courage. It's like just like us, needing courage. And it takes courage to step away from the flock, right? To step out on our own. And it takes courage to know thyself and to be curious and explore. So that's like, it's huge. And not
Mhm.
everybody, you know, we always ask God, like, give us courage, you know, we need this, or give us strength to do this. We don't realize that it doesn't just happen, it's learned, it's experienced, it's something you have to embody to possess it. And through that, we are, I don't want to say given obstacles, but we put obstacles in our blueprint so that we could possess courage. So it's like seeing the truth behind what is in front of us, or the opportunities or challenges, and then seeing that as an opportunity to embody courage. So then I keep thinking there's four, but it's because she was the fourth.
Mhm.
And what did she learn in the end was that she already had the power. She already had the power throughout the entire journey to go back home whenever she wanted. It was just learning that she didn't need permission and she didn't need, I don't know why I'm getting
Yeah, I
emotional.
was going to ask, what's come is it maybe the energy of it, as you said, is
Yeah,
amplified and it's just it is a big topic. So, yeah.
yeah. I think it's just bringing out that deeper meaning within
Mm,
is resonating.
mhm,
So then, yeah, learning, then that's kind of the end of our journey. Not really the end, because then that's really just the beginning,
mm,
is then learning that the power is within us and we had it all along. And then that's when our journey really starts, is when we start to embody who we truly are. So then
mm.
that's just a whole nother new stage for us to express our higher purpose and our gifts and our mission and our destiny in life. So that's what I got. Thank you.
That's
Thank you very
beautiful.
much. We're gonna get over here.
I'll send you a link to have you read the book The Wizard of Us?
Oh,
Transformational
no.
Lessons from Oz by Jean Houston.
No, I
Oh,
never have. But I mean, I know that there's deeper metaphors in these movies, you know, and I look for that. I look for things, the metaphors and the signs and synchronicities in life, and that's how I use things. So I would probably really resonate with the deeper
I'll send you
spiritual
the
meaning
yeah.
of the Wizard of Oz.
And just as to not to recap, but you did ask the skull what you needed to know in this moment. So maybe maybe the reason why it was so emotional for you is just because you needed to be reminded of that, perhaps.
Yeah, I feel that Yeah, I've gone through the journey. I think we all go through the journey, but I think I was leading up to the part, even though I've seen the movie a million times, it's owning your own power. And I think for me in my life, that was the biggest obstacle was to take my power back from where I had given power to,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
parents or leaders or teachers or anything in life. We can give our power, we can be victimized by circumstances. And so therefore we give our power to money. We give our power to our health. We give our power, you know what I'm saying?
Mm.
And we don't say that we do actually have control of it. And though we do have control of it.
Yeah.
And so I feel like that was like big for me. So
Mm-hmm.
that's probably why it hit maybe something that was clearing left. And also, that's been a common theme for me this week is we have the authority to give ourselves permission to do anything.
Right. Oof, that's big.
And yet we are looking for permission from others all the time. And so
Mhm.
really, if we just realize that and give ourselves permission in every second, what are the possibilities?
Well, I just want to reflect back that when you got this call just 5 minutes ago, you said, "Oh, this is my permission slip to do a first
Yeah,
reading," where,
yeah.
you didn't need a permission
I
slip,
didn't need
right?
it, but I was waiting.
Yeah.
Like I was
And it's such
waiting.
a beautiful example of how we do the work. It's like, okay, I'm learning this, I'm putting it into practice. I'm reminding myself constantly of the things that I'm learning and embodying. So it's not like this week, oh, I learned that, I don't need permission. And now for the rest of your life, you'll never need. So it's like, oh no, it's a practice,
It's
as I go.
every
So
moment in everything you do, you have to continually give yourself permission and take your power back. So this, I gave myself permission for this, but the next time I go to read it, I'm gonna have to give myself permission again. It's like, and then maybe it becomes easier the more and more that we do it. But yeah, because I'm still gonna say, oh, I can't touch it until I have a question. I'm gonna
mm-hmm,
tell myself my ego is gonna come back, or my
mm-hmm,
lower self, my victim. I don't know when. Oh, it's so important. It has to be valued and important. It has to be an important moment. It has to be special.
mm,
It can't
right.
just be for everything. But then some people grow out of that fear and they can use it for anything. And
Mm,
really, again, it's just using your own self, your inner guidance for anything. So giving yourself permission. But yeah, just because you give yourself permission one time, it doesn't mean that you're over that. It's continually doing the thing. Then it becomes a habit. Then it becomes who you are.
mm-hmm,
And that's
yeah,
how it is with the brain, the mind, mindfulness, and having the heart, emotional intelligence and the courage. You don't just have courage one time and then you're like,
right.
courage. Like, no, you're going to be given opportunity after
Yeah.
opportunity to keep doing it until you no longer need those obstacles in front of you to give you permission, right? And then you can really embody it in your all aspects of life. So
That's it. Oh, that's so beautifully said. So beautifully said. And when you talked about courage even before, and you say, you're not sort of born with it necessarily, it's learned through the obstacles that we decided to put on our journey to teach us courage. And I find that's also so valuable. We were talking before about, teenagers and kids and young adults uh, and again, this victim mentality of just seeing obstacles as a gift, really an opportunity to grow and to learn and to develop strength and courage and all these things. So I love that too. And as a parent, also, we tend to want to protect our kids from obstacles, right? And from challenges and make it easy for them so that they don't suffer, but
but
not realizing
but
that
then we're enabling, right?
yeah, and also not realizing that they as a soul have also decided to put some obstacles on their path to
Mhm.
figure it out for themselves. So we can't make everything easy and comfortable, and actually doing that makes it worse, right?
Amen.
strips them of their
Yeah.
resilience. So,
Yes. I would like to add to that trust.
yeah.
So huge because, and that is a lesson in itself. That's a level. It's not only trusting ourselves that we did the work, we did the best we could, but like you said, trusting the higher self and the soul of our children, that they have also just planned out exactly what they needed.
Hmm.
And for us to even think that we could save them from it is only prolonging the inevitable and actually, taking on their karma, or it's just
Yeah.
nasty. It is trust. And the most of the problem is that we don't trust that in others because that's just a reflection showing of how we don't completely trust ourselves.
Hmm.
When we do
Amen.
trust, yeah,
Yeah.
when we do find that trust within we have that complete self-love and trust for us, we will be able to trust the path, the journey for others, and trust the universe, trust the matrix, trust that everything has a purpose. And we'll be able to give that energy vibration to others. Like we said in the last episode, being the example and embodying it as a parent rather than telling. Because we can tell people, have trust all day long. Trust is
Hmm.
the answer. But if we truly don't resonate that through us, they're never going to feel that vibration in their soul when they're around us. And that's truly how we teach.
I have nothing else to say. Like, this is
I don't
so
either.
good. Yeah.
Thank you, Ishtar. Special guest.
Yeah, there you go. She's gonna be our new co-host.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's beautiful. And one thing, I don't want to, deviate too much, but one thing you said also about this call was that, you were waiting perhaps for a big moment, to use it for something big. And it made me think of, those fancy dresses that we may have in our wardrobe that we reserve for special occasions,
Yes.
and it's like,
You're
no,
not the
you don't
only
have
one.
to. No.
Yeah.
Right? You just live your life. Jeez. Take, you
The joy.
wear it to wherever you want, man, use that
Yes.
special, whatever. People reserve special bottles of wine for certain occasions, just drink it, God's sakes, just have fun and
Celebrate
enjoy it too.
yourself.
And yeah, exactly. Every moment is special. So just this moment is as good as any moment.
I'm glad to hear I'm not the only one because I'm one of those that it's like I love feeling good about myself, and I know that external stuff is not the answer. It's not, but it's like I still say that I have to wait for a special moment, or I have to wait for the special date to put on my makeup, to do my
Hmm.
hair, to like embody the
The
clothes like
goddess.
you just said, the fancy clothes in the closet. Well, why do I
Mhm.
have them? It's because I
Right.
love them. But
Hmm.
yet I don't feel worthy enough to wear them unless I have a special moment or special occasion. And so
Mm.
really seeing ourselves as like, why don't I just do it for me? Why don't I just celebrate me? And that comes into play, I think, where a lot of us, we feel we're going to be judged. Other people
Yeah.
are going to wonder why maybe I can't be
Right.
prettier than them, or I can't do this, or I can't look more dressed up. I can't because then I'll be judged. But then that's fear. So then
Hmm.
we are holding our self-worth back because of fear.
Yeah.
Judgment where we shouldn't need a moment.
Mm.
If the presence is all there is, and there is no past and no future, and time doesn't exist, then we should celebrate ourselves in every moment because that becomes our present. Whatever we love and our passion and joy in that moment.
I
And
love
if
that.
that's wearing that outfit that we resonated with, that we love, it makes us feel better. Oh shit, okay, do it.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. Our passage here as this specific person is so short. Like, what are you waiting
Yeah.
for? You don't need to wait for
Yeah.
anything. It's here
I feel
now.
like I
It's
was waiting all my life.
hmm.
Yeah. And it's like, why? Well, because I was never taught that we were taught that we have to get permission as a child.
Yeah.
And so we take that into our adulthood and we're like, waiting for permission to be ourselves, waiting permission to ascend, waiting permission. Yeah,
Mm-hmm,
no,
mm-hmm.
just do it because that you are following your own authority, your own permission, your own leadership, your own divine blueprint.
This episode was full of wisdom. Thank
Yay.
you again for this conversation. Gosh, I love when we talk like that. It's so enriching. So thank you.
Thank you, Alex, for being that sacred vessel and holding such high vibrational space for everyone to allow them to speak and be themselves, because you even do so in your conscious chats. You hold
Yeah,
such a high, sacred, safe space. And believe me, if I didn't feel safe with you, this would never happen. And in conscious chats, if nobody felt safe, they wouldn't speak up. And
that's true.
that is such a powerful gift that you give
Thank you.
when you embody who you are here.
Thank
So
you. You're gonna make me emotional now.
I don't know. It's coming from a very
I
heart-centered
feel it.
space today.
I feel it. Thank you so much. I love you so much.
I
Thank
love
you.
you so much.
And thank you, Ishtar, for your presence and your
Thank you.
energy. I feel like it's emanating all the way to me, and now I feel
Yeah, it's like the wave.
it.